focusing on cartwheels, the shapings in your cartwheels, and also working towards some aerials. So just like before any video, I want you guys to make sure you're stretching out, make sure you're stretching those legs, those wrists, and those arms before we can get started. I also just want to remind us, those older students who maybe already have good handstands and cartwheels, just making sure you're still working on these as well, because it is really beneficial throughout all of gymnastics, because handstands and cartwheels are basic and you pass through those shapes all the time. So really work on these as well, because it will benefit you a lot. Just like any other video I've made, I'm just not showing it in real time. I'm just telling you the number to where you can pause the video, do it, and then start the video back up again. First thing we're gonna be doing is just the shapes in our handstands and our cartwheels, which is really, really important. So we're gonna start by doing some T's to needles, but really, really focus on getting that whole body tight, passing through those shapes as tight as possible. First, you're just gonna start off with those T's, arms up tall, point in front, T to the wall, back down. Tight and controlled the whole time. You're gonna do it 10 times. After that, we're gonna move on to some T's to the needle, passing through those shapes the whole time. Every time is tight. Again, start back up, leg point in front, go T, needle, T, lunge. Passing through it the whole time, staying tight, making sure you show that T shape throughout. This time's gonna be a little similar to what we just did, or you're gonna go and rest your foot onto the wall. So don't kick up to a complete handstand, it's more of a split handstand. So start with the leg point in front, arms up tall, you're gonna kick, touch, T, lunge. Still passing through that T shape, because you really wanna stay tight and controlled. Again, I'll show you one more time. Point in front, arms up tall, kick, touch, T, lunge, finish. Again, the whole time passing through that T shape, making sure you're staying tight as possible. Once you get those shapes down pretty easily, we're gonna move on to going to those cartwheels. But first off, I want you guys to work on just a few handstands just to warm up a little bit. Do them against the wall or on the ground, either or is fine. Just make sure you're still staying tight, passing through those shapes. Starting up tall, T, handstand, T, lunge, finish it. Still pretty throughout the whole time, and even working on those finishes as well. Something that I have found beneficial when I was a gymnast was working on my hand movements in those cartwheels, especially if you're doing cartwheels on beam. It's kind of like a little T for your hand, just like this. You would start your first hand going down flat, and your other hand teeing to it. So it should look like that in the air. But you could try it going against the wall first, and making sure those shapes are tight. Make sure you're not going around the whirl, and making sure you're going up and over in those cartwheels. Trying that T shape in your hands, because it really did work for me a lot, so maybe work for you as well. I would really like you guys to take a minute just to work on those T hands in your cartwheels, because I really think that a lot of you guys could benefit from it a lot, especially if you're working cartwheels on beam. I'm gonna try my best to show you real quick what it looks like, but because I can't do a close-up, I would just really try to look as closely as you possibly can to my hands. You're gonna start your cartwheel the same as you always do. See those hands, back to that lunge, and finish it. I know the view is a little off just because my camera, and for the rest of the video, it can't go a long ways, but just really look as closely as you possibly can and see what works out for you. Next off, if you want to just challenge yourself just a little bit more, try putting those cartwheels against the wall. Make sure it's your back that's against the wall to where you're not kicking the wall when you're going over. But I still want you to stay flat and as tight as possible going through it, working on those hands, working on those legs and those finishes, just shapes throughout the whole thing, making sure you're as tight as possible. Our next portion of this video is going to be working on more dive cartwheels and working towards those aerials, because I know that a lot of you guys have been requesting that, and I wanted to show you some things you guys can work on without going quite right into those aerials. So a few things to work on before we get right into those dive cartwheels. We're gonna work on our near arm cartwheels and our far arm cartwheels. So if I'm a righty, my near arm would be my right hand, and my far arm would be my left hand. If I'm a lefty, my near arm would be my left hand, and my far arm would be my right hand. So just work on 5 of each. I'm gonna show you both. So again, I'm a righty, so my near arm would be my right hand. Just going up and over. Still going back to that lunge. And then my far arm would be my left hand because I'm a righty. Same thing. Going right back to that lunge. Just tight throughout the whole time, working on those different arm movements. Some things you guys can work on, especially if you're working towards aerials, is trying some ankle weights, kicking hard in those dive cartwheels, and working hard on those near arm and far arm cartwheels. I'm not going to show you in here because it's really best that you do those outside just to make sure you don't kick anything and risk injuring yourself. But when you are doing your dive cartwheels, I really want you guys to try to get as much air as you possibly can. Keep your arms up as long as you can, trying to get those legs over fast. It also really focuses on that front leg when you're kicking. You want to push really, really hard off your good leg and kicking that bad leg up as fast as you can. I'm going to show you just a little bit of that. I'm not going to do the full dive cartwheel, but I'm going to show you what the kick and the drive should look like. Just going to start off by your good leg should be the one the power's coming from, and then bad leg is the one you're kicking as hard as you can. It should just be a push and a kick all the way through. Really also working on that movement. So I want you guys pulling your good shoulder to the side. So it should be like a kick to the side. Trying to get over as fast as you can. Again, this is just something to work on if you are really good at your dive cartwheels and your near arm far arm cartwheels, because an aerial is something that's really good to have. But for right now, if you don't have a lot of room for it, then don't attempt it quite yet. Just working on those shapes, working on that power as well. Okay, the last two things I want you guys to work on in these cartwheels would be cartwheel step-ins, because those are also really good for connecting skills. Again, it's the same thing as a cartwheel. Just make sure you bring those legs together, those arms up fast, and raising up tall. I'm going to show you really quick. I just want you to work on this, working on that power, getting through that cartwheel to a huge step and getting that chest up. Good leg in front, cartwheel fast, stepping up. Really try to get that chest up fast, throw those arms up in the air because you want that power throughout. One last thing would be going from cartwheel from your knee. So again, just starting your knee. This is also good for your aerial, which is driving those heels. Starting good leg in front, leg, bad leg behind you. Driving fast, kick, back up. These are just a lot of good things for you guys to work on, especially because cartwheels are really essential in gymnastics because you pass through them and almost everything, and same as the handstand. So really just getting these basics down nice and good so we can have clean skills throughout all of our gymnastics. So I know that was a lot compacted into one video, but really just work on everything slowly, going through everything, getting those tight shapes, working on just these little things because they really will benefit you a lot. I know that you guys probably have a good bit of time on your hands, so I know it's not that hard to go through these videos and just working on these little things. Also, especially getting those splits down. Like I really want to see you guys sending pictures to me of you getting those splits down because that really makes me so happy when I see you guys working really hard at home. I hope that this was a lot of a help for you guys, and just let me know if you have any questions. Again, just stay tight, get through everything, and just have fun with it as well. I hope you guys are all staying safe at home, and I'll see you guys in my next video.